Why do people hate Destiny, the internet's self-proclaimed debate master turned human meme? Destiny, real name Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II, built his fame on his rapid-fire debating skills and unfiltered opinions. Over the years, he transitioned from being a respected figure in online gaming debates to a lightning rod for controversy. While some admire his intellect and fearlessness, others see him as the epitome of online toxicity. Whether it's his political flip-flopping, emotional meltdowns, or personal drama, Destiny has managed to alienate people across the political spectrum and beyond. Here's a deeper dive into why Destiny has gone from intellectual icon to one of the most divisive figures on the internet. Destiny's rise began with his ability to dismantle arguments and leave opponents speechless. He became the internet's debate club president, schooling conservatives and progressives alike with logic and quick wit. However, his debating style evolved into something far less constructive. Instead of fostering meaningful conversations, Destiny turned debates into battlegrounds where the goal was no longer understanding but humiliation. Take, for example, his infamous clashes with Tim Pool and other right-wing figures. These debates quickly devolved into shouting matches, with Destiny focusing on petty gotcha moments instead of engaging with broader ideas. Critics argue that his approach alienates audiences who might be open to his arguments but are turned off by his aggressive demeanor. At this point, watching Destiny debate feels less like watching an intellectual sparring match and more like observing someone trying to win an argument at Thanksgiving dinner. Loud, messy, and ultimately pointless. His gladiator complex ensures he wins the fight but often loses the war of public opinion. Destiny's political stances have shifted more often than a weather vane in a tornado. From libertarian to progressive to centrist, his ideological journey confuses even his most loyal fans. While he frames this as intellectual flexibility, critics see it as opportunistic pandering. For instance, his frequent pivots on free speech and cancel culture have left audiences scratching their heads. In one debate, he champions progressive ideals, only to denounce woke culture the next. This inconsistency has alienated both the left and the right, leaving him stranded in an ideological no-man's land. His vitriolic hatred for Trump in particular has backfired spectacularly. By obsessively railing against the former president, Destiny has not only exhausted his audience, but inadvertently made Trump supporters look like the more composed side. Critics argue that his constant flip-flopping reveals not growth, but desperation to stay relevant in a rapidly changing political landscape. Destiny's emotional outbursts have become a cornerstone of his public persona. From shouting matches on live streams to inflammatory comments on social media, his inability to control his temper has cost him both credibility and followers. A prime example is his infamous response to a commenter who shared a personal tragedy. Instead of offering sympathy, Destiny mocked them and told them to get ed. Such incidents have become increasingly common, leading many to question whether he can separate his emotions from his arguments. Far from making him seem authentic, these meltdowns paint a picture of a man unable to handle criticism or pressure. They've turned him into the internet's equivalent of a toddler throwing tantrums when things don't go his way. If confidence were currency, Destiny would be a billionaire. His self-assuredness is both his greatest asset and his biggest flaw. While his bravado initially attracted fans, it has since evolved into outright arrogance, turning many of them away. Destiny's dismissive attitude toward opponents and even allies often overshadows his intelligence. For instance, during debates, he's been known to belittle those he considers intellectually inferior, making discussions feel less like dialogues and more like lectures. His arrogance extends beyond debates. Destiny frequently boasts about his intellectual superiority, even in the face of overwhelming criticism. This unchecked ego has alienated not just casual viewers, but also former collaborators, solidifying his reputation as someone more interested in being right than being respected. Destiny's open marriage to Melina Goranson was once a badge of honor, a symbol of his progressive values and his belief in redefining traditional relationships. But things took a dramatic turn when Melina became romantically involved with a man Destiny described as toxic and abusive. The situation spiraled out of control, culminating in Melina leaving Destiny altogether. Critics were quick to pounce, labeling Destiny a beta male and mocking him for losing his wife in a relationship dynamic he had championed. Memes and jokes flooded social media, portraying him as a man whose high-minded ideals had backfired spectacularly. To make matters worse, Destiny aired the entire ordeal online, inviting further ridicule. What was once framed as a progressive love story became a cautionary tale of hubris and emotional naivety. His handling of the situation shattered his carefully crafted image of intellectual dominance and left even his fans questioning his judgment. Destiny's fanbase is as combative as he is creating a culture of hostility that mirrors their leader's online persona. Known for their aggressive defense of Destiny, his fans often swarm critics on social media, turning even mild disagreements into full-blown wars. And this toxic culture has alienated potential new viewers and reinforced the worst stereotypes about Destiny's community. Critics argue that his inability or unwillingness to moderate his fan base reflects a broader failure to create a constructive online environment. Instead, he has fostered a digital echo chamber where toxicity reigns supreme. For many, the prospect of engaging with Destiny is daunting, not because of him, but because of the mob that follows in his wake. Destiny's reliance on inflammatory statements and outrageous behavior has led many to accuse him of rage farming. By deliberately provoking outrage, he ensures his name stays in the spotlight, even if it alienates large segments of his audience. From mocking Trump supporters to insulting grieving individuals, Destiny's penchant for controversy often overshadows his more substantive contributions. While this strategy keeps his audience engaged, it also cements his reputation as a provocateur who thrives on chaos rather than constructive dialogue. Critics argue that this approach has reduced his platform to little more than clickbait instead of elevating discourse. Destiny seems content to wallow in the drama, making his content feel less like intellectual engagement and more like a reality TV show for internet trolling. Whether you view him as a misunderstood genius or a self-destructive provocateur, one thing is clear. Destiny has mastered the art of making enemies. His ability to alienate fans, collaborators, and even his wife has made him a fascinating and tragic figure in the world of online discourse. Love him or hate him, Destiny remains the internet's favorite train wreck.